So just a couple days ago, Board Panda came out with a very interesting post labeled "Artist Reveals What Fonts Were Used to Design Famous Logos," parentheses 30 pics. And I thought it'd be fun to react to those different logos and the typefaces that were used in each logo. The person who compiled all of these logos and typefaces together, his name is Emmanuel Abarte, maybe. And I've also linked the Board Panda article that I found this down in the description for you to also check out. So let's get started with number one. So first up is the Adidas logo, and so you can see here that the font used was avant-garde. This is one of those where you always look at it and you're like, I wonder what typeface that was. Like, I wonder what they used to create that style. If you have any Adobe products, you probably already have this one or you downloaded it. Yeah, it's a pretty dope typeface. Twitter, it's Pico, whatever that is. I haven't looked up where you can download it from, but from a distance I looked at it, I might have been like, yeah, that's some kind of subset of Arial that's been amended and morphed and stuff, but apparently it is a typeface. I would have never guessed that. Third is the North Face. This one cracks me up. It just says the Helvetica. It's amazing. Isn't it crazy? Like, some of these are just famous typefaces. Like, nobody just sat down and started drawing all those shapes. They were like, let's use Helvetica. Stranger Things, apparently that is ITC Bingot. Interesting serif style typeface here. It's very pretty and it works really well for the Stranger Things vibe, clearly. Moving on to number 5 is the YouTube one, and this is one that I'll never be able to look at the same now because it is alternate Gothic, another family of fonts that you probably have already. And yeah, so this one's not the regular one. It's been beefed up a little bit, probably medium or maybe bold, I can't really tell. Very useful for small spaces, but yeah, so that's alternate Gothic for YouTube. If you didn't know, now you know. Moving on to another interesting one, number 6 is the Energizer battery logo, and you guessed it, or maybe you didn't, it's Helvetica again, but it's Helvetica oblique or italic, and those are a little bit different, not going to get into it, but it's one that I never really cared to look at and be like, I wonder what typeface the Energizer battery company is. Zara. Okay, so this is one I really like. I really like this serif Dido. I use it in a ton of different client projects because it's like Vogue-esque style, and clearly you can see here in the Zara logo it's pretty much just Dido, but they've just decreased the kerning a little bit and just bunched up those letters, but it's very pretty. Moving on to number 8 is the eBay logo. This is probably one I wouldn't have guessed, even though Unverse or Universe, really don't know how to say these. I call it Unverse. I know that's not right, but I don't think Universe is right because there's no E, so it's not universe. Obviously, there's been a little bit of amendment done. You can see there in the B, it's a little bit fatter. I don't know if I have this one, but I haven't typed it out to see if that's what happens, but you can tell by the E's that they're not quite the same weight or font. Number 9, Calvin Klein. So another avant-garde one. You can tell it's been a little bit amended, but for the most part they probably just typed that in, decreased the spacing between the letters a little bit to just have Calvin Klein, and so obviously that's better than just open up Word and typing in Times New Roman Calvin Klein. And moving on to number 10 is Futura. See, this is one of those where you're like, somebody I think drew that, but then you're like, but it looks super familiar. Futura is a very like go-to font. I've used it a ton just because it's clean and great and it's hard to go wrong with it. It's just interesting that the Red Bull logo is one like Futura. So next up, number 11 is Faber-Castell. I don't even know what this is, but it looks like maybe some kind of polo or jousting. It's probably a clothing company, I have no idea, but it is Nafret Light. I don't have that one. That's what it is if you're looking for that serif font. Tommy Hilfiger. I was all about some Tommy Hilfiger back in the day, and I'm all about some Gil Sans because that is a great clean sans serif font, and you can see that it's probably that weight, but it's smaller. So I mean, they pretty much just typed in Tommy Hilfiger and spaced out the letters a little bit. They were done with it, called it a day. So there you go. So Kinder is also Helvetica, and it looks like there probably wasn't very much amendment to it. Closed up the spacing ever so slightly. Maybe not. I don't know. I can't quite tell from this, but it's Helvetica once again. Okay, number 14, Skype. It is the Arial typeface, and I guess nothing wrong with Arial, but yeah, we're gonna move on. we're gonna move on. Number 15, Microsoft Sugoi. I don't know. Anyway, that's what it is. You can tell that, again, not much has been done to this one. It's probably regular, maybe semi-bold. I don't have this one. Very close to Product Sans or Sans Pro. Google or Google Maps is Product Sans, like I just mentioned before, and they like to do, they do very well the two weights or two fonts inside the family, the typeface family of Product Sans. This is one you may or may not have. You might have just Sans Pro, or you may have Source Sans or something like that, but it's very close, very similar, and if you were wondering, it was Product Sans. Number 17, Reddit is some typeface called VAG. It's a little Arial-like. If I had guessed from a distance, I might have thought Reddit was Arial, but it is not. It is some other typeface that's in that kind of rounded off corner type of vibe. This is one I would have never guessed. Toy Story, or the Toy Story logo, or the title header logo is Gil Sans as well, but clearly been extremely amended, and you can see they do this little overlapping of shadows from the T to the O, and then the O into the Y. That's the one that you can tell the most. Then there's shadow behind it. Gotham Medium. This is a very expensive font, so I guess it makes sense that Discovery has it. I mean, I can't remember what the price is for this one right now, but it is very popular and very famous. Little has been done. I think they just literally typed in Discovery, maybe ever so slightly, messed with some kerning and stuff. Obviously spaced out channel quite a bit, and then they were done with it. Put the little T in, put the little globe in there, and called it a day. Number 20, Instagram. See, this one is a little bit more of a stretch, where you look at this and you're like, I wish I had that so I could type in what that looks like. Clearly you can tell from the beefiness of the strokes. I don't know if this one comes with like a regular and a bold, but I think there's been work done to this one. I don't think they just typed that in unless that typeface was created for the purpose of Instagram to be the logo. So it's not going to be a one-for-one, because you can tell from the A, the bottom part of the ear or whatever, the tail is moving, is like halfway down. You can see the little notch, whereas in the Instagram logo, you can see it's all the way at the top. So there's a lot of differences between this, but you know, they probably just converted it to a shape, edited a little bit, and then they got the Instagram logo. So this is another one that I don't know why it didn't stick out to me immediately. Probably because I don't care. But TikTok is Gotham, and it's either, I mean, it looks like they've beefed it up manually, or they went with bold or heavy, and then amended it from there, and then obviously have that pink and the turquoise blue shade thing behind it. So I guess that's an expensive logo. Don't know how much more that'll be around though. I would have said Helvetica Italic maybe, but I wasn't picking up on the sharpness that is Futura in the Nike logo, and so obviously this one is very beefed up. It's either bold or heavy or whatever, and it has been slanted. I don't know if that's manual or if they just did italic. Game of Thrones, it is the Trajan typeface. I have that one as well. Very pretty, interesting, kind of Egyptian-y style, not quite slab serif, but it's not a sans serif. Yeah, it's just an elaborate kind of little floral serif font. So if you're going for that kind of vibe, maybe you're into some medieval stuff or creating your D&D packets and whatever you're gonna do, it's Trajan. See, this is one where I'm like, I don't know. I have no, so this designer who compiled these, again, I don't own any of the rights to these. I didn't do this myself. I don't doubt him, but I look at it and I'm like, how could Star Wars also be Helvetica black? It does make sense to me, and then they took it and they just like really elaborated the S's and the R's, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm seeing it, but I'm like, I want to believe that the Star Wars logo was just drawn from nothing. 25, guess what? Futura again. Now, I might have guessed from a distance Supreme was probably just Helvetica, but again, I wasn't looking at the sharpness, the cutoff of like where the S and the R is, where the E falls a little bit short. That's not how the Helvetica E is. Really, like, put those letters close together. So if you're wondering, it's Futura one more time. The Facebook logo for number 26 is Klavica. The F and the K both really pop at the end or the beginning of a word like this. So Nivea, Eagle. Didn't even know that was a typeface. I don't think that's a C. Eagle. Kind of reminds me of IKEA. Grand Theft Auto is apparently priced down black. Didn't even know that that was a typeface, and if I had to guess, I would have said that someone just drew this out, because it's kind of graffiti-ish style, kind of blocky. It's very pretty. It's very well done. I just would have never guessed that it is a typeface that you can download and use. That's pretty crazy to me. FedEx is totally Futura. Again, it's another one where you look at it and you're like, I can't tell quite what that is because it's been morphed a ton. You don't just type in something and then call it a day. Coming in at number 30, this is another one I don't think I own. Rolex is Clarendon. Let's see if I have that one. Ooh, I do. Clarendon bold, and then it's been edited quite a bit. You can tell that the R is not the same. The little tail or the ear there has been edited to be like everything else, so that little swish is not there anymore. So a very memorable logo type is Clarendon if you're going for that type of vibe. So I hope that was interesting and cool to look at. Let me know which one of these was your favorite down in the comments. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, I will see you in the next video.